So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike SB Dunk Low in the orange Lobster colorway. Can you tell any difference between these two? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I have another comparison for you between two pairs of the Nike SB Dunk orange Lobsters. Can you tell any difference? Well, you probably can by the boxes. So the retail pair is here on my right and was purchased directly from Sneakers, and this is the fake one here in the wrong box, so that's key to note. And this video will just be showing you the differences between the two pairs and what to look for if you're trying to purchase a retail pair. So let's get straight into it. So the first difference is pretty clear to see. The retail pair comes in a rainbow box. I think they changed this last minute. It was supposed to come in this box, but didn't. They changed it to this rainbow box, and the fakes just didn't catch up. I think they've caught up now, but for early pairs, they didn't have the right box. So you can see the box is very different from retail to fake. Taking a look at the labels as well, I'll give you a close-up of this. We can see that the labels are very different between the two pairs. As you can see where it says Nike SB Dunk Low OGQS, you can see this font size is very different. On the fake one, it's much larger and thicker compared to the retail one, where the text is much slimmer. Also, we take a look at the sizing where it says US 10 and UK 9. You can see once again that the text is very different between the two pairs. And overall, the label is actually quite different between the two pairs. So from the side by side, you should be able to see the difference. And if you have a pair at home, take a closer look at the label. But it's just a box at the end of the day. Nobody really cares, and we want to take a closer look at the shoes if you are going to wear them. So we'll open up the boxes and take a closer look. Let's open up the retail one first. Got these directly from Sneakers in exclusive access, and this is how they came. So the paper is wrapped around the shoe. As you can see, the shoes are not exposed. Let's take a look at the fake one. So the fake one has actually got this one spot on. They stink of glue. Holy, they are so strongly smelling of glue. But in terms of the wrapping of the paper over the top, they normally have the fake ones with the paper on the bottom, but this one has got it spot on. Shame about the box though. Let's take a look at the paper. So comparing the papers side by side, you can actually see a difference between the two. The retail paper is much thicker than the fake paper. The fake paper is incredibly thin and you can actually see through it at points. Whereas on the retail one, you can see it's a white paper with that black wood grain look over the top, but it's just very different from retail to fake. And the wood grain on the fake one is not as cleanly printed as it is on the retail one. So we'll take out the shoes. So here is your first look at a retail and fake pair of the Nike SB Dunk Low in the orange Lobster colorway. Can you tell any difference between these two? So the first major difference we're going to take a look at is the swoosh on the outer side of both of these pairs. If you compare them side by side, you can see that the fake swoosh is much larger than it is on the retail one, and the sizing of this is pretty clear to see from the side by side. If you take a look at the inside swoosh, the same mistake happens again. The fake one is much larger than the retail one, and these are both a US 10, so the swoosh size should be exactly the same. If we look at the inner sock liner, which is very distinctive, you can see differences in the pattern. So taking a look at the orange symbol on top of the light orange patch, you can see it's very different from retail to fake. And in my opinion, it looks a little bit cleaner on the fake pair, but you can see it's just a little bit inaccurate compared to the retail one. Taking a closer look at the label on the tongue of both of these pairs, there is actually a slight color difference, with the retail one being a lighter orange than the fake one. The fake is a much darker, richer orange. And also, if you look at the Nike symbol on the top, it's positioned much higher up on the retail one compared to the fake one. So both pairs come with the rubberized band on the toe box, and if you actually take it off, it does leave a mark on the toe box of both of the pairs, which is a little bit annoying if you're a collector and you don't want to crease the toe box, because that's exactly what these rubberized bands do. In terms of the difference in rubberized bands, the retail one is much larger than the fake one, and that means that the fake one is much tighter around the toe box than the retail one is. The retail one's a little bit looser and slips all the way up the toe box, whereas the fake one is a lot stiffer than the retail one. The retail one, you can see, gives a lot more give compared to the fake one, which is very hard and very strong rubberized material. Taking a look at the toe box area from above, you can see a difference in the shape, and this is really clear and easy to see. You can see the toe box of the fake one is much more squared off towards the end compared to the retail one, where you can see the curve is exactly how a toe box on a Nike SB should look. So one difference that is actually quite hard to explain, when you place the shoe flat on the ground, it curves up on the sole towards the toe box area, whereas on the fake one it's much flatter and the gap at the toe box underneath is very small compared to the retail one. Taking a look at the underside of the label and the text here, you can see it's positioned very differently from retail to fake once again, with where it says at the top Nike and the swoosh, you can see there's a much bigger gap between the top of the label on the fake one compared to the retail one where it pretty much reaches the top part of the material. Taking a look on the outer side, and if you look at these leather panels here, you can actually see from the close-up these are a slightly different material and therefore give off a different color as well. Hopefully this shows up on the close-up because it's very clear to see, but they're actually a different color of orange. What I would say is the fake one is a much darker material and also looks longer, so it just gives off a different vibe in the close-up, so you can see they're very different. Spinning the shoe upside down, and I hope this shows up on the camera, but there is a color difference between the two, and I would say the orange on the fake one is much bolder than it is on the retail one. It's a slightly lighter color on the retail one. However, this is incredibly close and can only really be seen side by side. Otherwise, it would be pretty hard to tell. Taking a look at the heels of both of these shoes, and I'll show you the close-up, you can see the quality difference between the two pairs, and it's quite clear to see on the camera. Once again, spinning the shoe to the outer side and taking a look at the swoosh on both of these, looking closely at the stitching on the swoosh of both pairs, you can see it's very different from retail to fake. As you can see, the stitching is much smaller on the fake one compared to the retail one, going all the way along the swoosh. So now we'll take a look at the right pair and what accessories it comes with. So on both right pairs, you can see they do have attached the spare laces. However, there's a slight difference. On the retail one, the spare laces are attached to the pre-lace that's already in the shoe. And on the fake one, they're attached via a plastic side tag. So there is a slight difference between the two. However, after you take them off, you won't really know. In terms of the laces themselves, when they're dead stock laced, they are dead stock laced a little bit differently, which I'll show you from the close-up once again. And the wrapping is slightly different. Also, the color of both the laces is slightly different. As you can see, the orange on the retail one is slightly lighter compared to the fake one. And if you look at this kind of blue, aqua blue kind of color, you can see it's slightly different between the two pairs. On the retail one, it has a slightly more green tint to it compared to the fake one. So that's a clear telltale sign between the two pairs. The fake one does not have the spare laces correct. So now we're going to take a look inside the shoe, take out the paper stuffing of both. So here we can see a big difference. The fake one comes with this massive amount of paper compared to the retail one, and there's a clear color difference and material difference between the two. I would say the retail one feels just like a normal tissue paper, whereas the fake one is very laminated, and if I unfolded this, I could probably write on it. It feels pretty stiff and like paper. So to summarize, there is a few differences between the two pairs. And overall, I would say the fake one just looks a little bit more dull than the retail one. I think that's in terms of the material quality and material color. It just doesn't look like an orange lobster. I know it might be seeming so on the camera, but in person, it just doesn't seem the same. This one is incredibly bright compared to this one. And a few of the material differences are very clear to see in terms of quality. Let me know down below in the comments if you can spot any more differences, and I hope this video has helped you if you are trying to purchase a retail pair, and you can spot the differences if you've already purchased a pair yourself. But thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel and helps me do more videos just like this. I've got a lot more coming and some very exciting pairs coming, so I hope you enjoy. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you have an amazing day.